Hello, everybody. We're back again with Survivor, season 43. We're now on episode 7. All right, I've been a little sick the last couple of days. Sorry for the delay, but just getting into this episode. Last episode we had Ellie, I believe, the lady with the bug eyes. She got voted out. Um, and what is that chick's name? Well, her friend who had an idol was blindsided, and she was obviously scared because she was very close with Ellie. And now that Ellie's gone, now people are nervous about Gabler because he orchestrated that whole thing of getting Ellie out based on emotions. It's not a very good way to play the game. And I think it's mostly because he felt like he's been tricked a lot by them. He didn't, first of all, he didn't know that they went through his bag. And when he found out, I mean, dude, just like I guess he has a thing about being made a fool of. I think he's a very prideful dude. I mean, he's a what is he, like a surgeon, I think. And then he found out that about the idol situation where he gave up his bead that ended up completing the idol, and he was pissed about that, and ended up pretty much betraying his allies who told him about the situation by revealing that they told him about the situation, which is a stupid move, all to get rid of someone based on an emotional move that didn't really further his game at all. Now his allies don't trust him. So it was kind of dumb, but that's what he chose to do. So now he's feeling good about himself. He's feeling like he accomplished something, and his plan is to now go under the radar after he made that move. It's just like you can't go under the radar because now people don't trust you, so they're always nervous about what you're gonna do. So you're never under the radar. They're always gonna be scrutinizing you. You played the game terribly. If your move was more reactionary instead of planned, then people would be like, okay, they'll be cautious about you, but they'll forget about you after a while. But if you actually made a move, they're like, okay, this is how he goes. It's kind of out of left field. We can't really trust him. We can't really tell him anything. So they will always, every time they have to make a plan and everything like that, they have to plan around you, which means you're never under the radar because they always have to be wary of where you are and what you're gonna do. So that was a terrible move on his part. And I believe his idol is now done because he only had it for one more tribal, and he was safe during that tribal. So he didn't really need to use it. I don't know if he could have used it for someone else, but he has no reason to do that. So things went the way they went. All right. Now this was wholly dumb. They got a bunch of like, I don't know, paint, or was it crayons or something like that, some sort of paint and a bunch of art supplies. But they thought it was to build a new tribe flag or something like that, but it was actually for them to choose pairs uh, for the upcoming immunity challenge. So there's 12 people, and there are going to be 6 pairs competing in the next competition. Uh, all they had to do was just simply choose a partner, but they're all too nervous to do that because it's going to reveal some people don't want to compete with people that are sucky, or they don't want to reveal where their alliances lie. So they're all dancing around it like, oh my god, I don't know what to do, and end up randomly picking rocks to decide who is going to be teamed up together. And it was so freaking stupid. Uh couldn't I couldn't watch it. Nonsense. That's what the thing with these shows where you introduce a political element to it. It's just like everything is just so sanitary and childish. It's like people can't be people anymore, and it's no longer interesting. Now they have to be whatever image they want to portray, and it's freaking annoying. All right, so they did that, and I guess they wanted to be like a big reveal at the end as to who's paired up together. All right. All right. Let's see. Oh, there we go. No, That's not what I, all right. Okay. What is happening? All right, there we go. That's better. All right. Let's do this. All right. So these are the pairs. Here you got Owen and Gabler. I don't know what his first name is, but it's probably the same as one of these dudes, and they just they gave him his last name, or maybe he chose to just go by his last name. So Owen Gabler, Cody, I believe Cody, Dwight, Noel, and she's going to be teamed up with Sammy over here, walking over here. This guy over here, I think is Ryan, and he's teamed up with James. And then we have Carla and Cassie. Carla and Cassie. And then we have Jesse, and I have no idea what her name is, but she's there. All right. So that's the teams. Not that it matters much. The first part of the competition is they had to go through a net. Hold on. Let's see if I can get an image of it. They had to like unroll themselves in a net. Hold on. There it is. That's the image. All right. So they get to the first part. They have to jump through this net, and they have to sort of it's twisted up, so you have to untwist it the other way in order to get all the way through. Right. So you're pretty much just getting into the net and you're spinning it the opposite direction of where it was spun in the first place. All right. So it looks like it's spun this way, so you have to spin the opposite to get through. But after you spin it, when you spin one end to unravel it, the other end gets spun the other way. I think it's like it's clockwise or something like that. So you unspin this end to get through, and then this end gets spun around. So then the next person coming through have to do the exact same thing, but just the opposite way. And so to get through to this end, and then they have to go over here, and I think they have to dig through the sand to get boards that are buried down there. And I think the first three and that made it to the first, was it the first three? Or is it the first? There's 6 people, 6 teams. I think it's the first. No, was it the 1, 2, 3? I think it's the first 4. The first 4 moves on to the next part. All right. So the first 4 moves on. All right. So I think I stopped paying attention because like in the beginning of this comp, Noelle, chick with one leg, she got tangled up in the goddamn thing, and I guess she doesn't know which direction to spin, and her hair was getting caught up in the net or whatever, which is a problem for a lot of people with long hair that was competing in that, but they got through it just fine. And she couldn't do it, and she freaking cried like a baby, and everyone there was like a support group, and they're all supporting her. It's like you failed to do a thing. All right. It's not that big a deal, but it was very emotional for some reason. It was very emotional, and everyone there was there to support her because it was hard. It was like, why would they make it easy? It was supposed to be hard. And it whatever. It was stupid and annoying. All right. So they did that. I think the first team to get through was like what was that? Ryan and James was the first team to get through, and then Cody and who the hell was he teamed up with? Gabler? No, he's not teamed up with Gabler. I don't know. I don't care anymore. I was just so annoyed by this whole freaking thing. It was stupid. All right, give you an overview of the competition, see what it looks like. All right, so they do this. They get through the net over here. Then they go over here. They dig through the thing, get the boards. Then they go to the second part, which is like 4 teams competing. See, one, 2, 3, 4. So 4 teams are going to be competing in this part. All right, and then they have to get the boards. There's 3 boards, and they have to build a rope bridge with the 3 boards. So they're going to be laying down 2 boards, stepping on it, laying down the 3rd board, and then grabbing the first board, and then, you know, repeating the steps over and over until they get to the end. And then after that, it's going to be 2 teams advancing. All right, so the first 2 teams to advance, they're going to be competing in the last part. And in the last part, they become individuals again, and they're going to be competing for the immunity necklace, which one person can win. And in the last part, they have to hold up, you see these buckets here, hold up the buckets that are going to be attached to a string, and they have to hold the tension in the string. It's going to be like on a wheel, hold the tension in the string for as long as you can. The buckets are going to weigh 25% of their body weights, and they have to hold the tension in the string as long as they can. In the end, the winner of this competition was, in fact, Gabler. All right. And I think things would have went very differently if Gabler didn't win, just based on what happened last time. But he was able to save himself, and he's safe now. He was safe last time. He's safe now. So, good on him. It's not exactly laying low, and people are going to remember that when the game starts going down. And he doesn't have many allies in the game. He doesn't realize it, but he doesn't have many allies. So the moment he's not safe, things are going to get dicey, and he can't make much moves without other people, and they're not going to trust him. So he's going to see his game go to shit really soon when he no longer has safety. All right. So he wins immunity. They go back to camp, and people are talking about getting rid of James or Ryan. I don't know how that became the case. I don't know how, because James has a very good social game, and he was friends with a lot of people that were like running the show, like Carla. He worked with her on every vote, so I thought they were very close. But it doesn't look like the case. And the other people running the show is Jesse. He has a lot of allies, and they're kind of working together. Him and Carla both wanted to get rid of Noelle because they saw her calling the shots, which is like stupid, because those 2 are more manipulative and they have more allies than she does. She was just the one naming who they're going to target. She doesn't really have that much power, but they find her to be a threat for some reason. It was dumb, but yeah. So they want to get rid of her. So Jesse ran it by Cody, which is his number 1 ally. And Cody says that he thinks Dwight is a bigger threat, which is true. Dwight is physical, and he's very political. He's very friendly with people, and people like him. So it'd probably be a good option. But while they were discussing this, James, he opened up the water well in front of a bunch of people to get water, and he saw a bottle in the water. He scooped it up right in front of everyone, took out a note, read the note, and it says there's an advantage at your camp. You have to get it without anyone noticing. He read it right in front of everyone, so now they know he has something. So as soon as they separated, everyone already starts talking about his advantage, and now he becomes target number 1. They want to get rid of him because he has an advantage. He finds the advantage. Right away he reads it. It's the knowledge is power advantage that was lost last time. So it comes back into play. So he has the knowledge is power, and it's pretty much an open secret as to who has advantages. So he has the pick of the litter at that. After he gets it, though, he decides to tell pretty much everyone that he wants to work with that he has the knowledge is power advantage. And 2 of those people have advantages. Specifically, they have immunity idols. The first one was Carla, who was already part of the conversation to get rid of him and didn't tell him about it. And he decides to trust her to tell her he has the knowledge is power advantage, the same advantage that she got rid of someone before for having. And he was together with her on that vote. And you'd think it would come up that the fact that after they found out what the immunity idols are, he would realize that she had one and it would be dangerous to tell her that, and he would connect the dots and see like that's why she kind of pushed to vote out that other dude that had the knowledge is power. But he didn't do that. He told her about it. Then he went to Cody and he told Cody about it. Cody also has the same advantage. It's just dumb, but that's the choice that he made. So now they really want to get rid of him, and Cody's leaning to getting rid of Dwight, and Jesse and Carla wants to get rid of Noel. So it was just like a whole confusing mess of who people wants to get rid of. I don't know how James ended up in the bottom anyways. I know why Ryan's on the bottom, because his dumbass threw a challenge and he got his closest ally voted out. So it was just a huge mess of nonsense, and I couldn't care less at this point as to who goes home. I think the winner at the end would probably be either Jesse, or I don't think Cody's going to win. I think they're going to get rid of him before he even gets to that chance. It's either going to be Jesse, or who else can take it? James. I think James could probably make it. He could squeeze through. I think he can. So either Jesse or James, I think, will probably make it to the end and could possibly win. All right, so they get to tribal council, and it's just a bunch of freaking nonsense and lame jokes. All right, so they get to the vote, and there's 2 votes for James. There's, I think it was 3 votes for Ryan, and the rest of the votes were for Dwight. Another thing I forgot to mention was that even though some people knew that he had the knowledge is power advantage, other people just assumed that he had it. And in order to combat that, they all switched advantages. So Dwight ended up with, I think he had what is her name? That Asian girl. He had her idol. And I think Noel's extra vote went to Jesse. No, it went to Owen. And Carla's idol, she gave it to, I don't think she gave it to anyone. She probably gave it to someone, but I wasn't paying attention. And Cody gave his idol to Jesse. So they switched up a bunch of idols, and then Dwight gets voted out. And immediately, before the last vote gets read, and they knew he was going home, freaking Asian girl, she was already putting her hand back to get her freaking idol before he steps up. If I was him, I'd have walked away with her idol, but I guess he gave it back because they didn't say anything about him keeping it. So we'll see. Next episode, maybe they'll mention that he kept it, but I hope he kept it, but I don't think he did. That would be too interesting, and the show has lost all interest. So until next time, bye.